Finally got it. Now that I own the whole series. Okay. I was inspired to make this video because a friend of mine, she did a video basically analyzing the character of Vegeta, and like I've tried to say anyway, well, I do disagree with her on a couple of points. They're all opinion points, and they're not they're not facts or anything like that. Excuse me. While I do disagree with her, like I said, on some points, they're opinion points, they're not facts. Factually, she's like right on. So, but anyway, maybe you want to talk about one thing that bothers me about Vegeta, and it's got actually nothing to do with Vegeta, so to speak, not the character. It has everything to do with Vegeta's fanboys and fangirls. Bothers the living crap out of me, because all of Vegeta's fangirls and fanboys, they claim to love the character, but they don't know the first thing about him. I'm serious. They categorize him, they say that he is something that he's not. Like the fangirls, oh my god. The fangirls say that he's just some poor picked on little baby who his evil father, who didn't care about him at all, gave him to Frieza, who then proceeded to do unspeakable things to 6-year-old little Veggie, and yes, they call him that. Oh god, did they call him that? Including torture, beatings, mental anguish, even sometimes molestation. Now, aside from the fact that his father loved him and actually died trying to get him back from Frieza, who took him, and the fact that Frieza spoiled him like a little brat, to Frieza he was more like a pet. And people knew that, but he still spoiled him. He gave him a pretty darn cushy life, okay? All things considered, he had a very cushy life, and, he was still spoiled. The thing is, he's spoiled, okay? He's not some poor picked on little baby who became a butthead because, he's, been tortured his whole life. And as you ladies love to put it, just needs the right girl to show him that he doesn't have to be that way anymore. God, I can't believe I have to say that. Now, as for you fanboys, you think he's badass. You think that he's awesome. You think that he's tough. He's cool. He's collected no matter what. And that's not true. And you know it. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. But the thing is, the fanboys and the fangirls, oh my god, there's too many of them. You go to a website called fanfiction.net, and I'm sure many of you guys know what that is. It's a place where you can write different, fanfics, fiction stories based on a series written by, the fans. And there's a few problems with that. Not with doing it, it's with them doing it. Okay, normal people, normal fans, you want to do it, that's fine, that's awesome. There's some great stuff on there. A lot of people with a lot of potential. Heck, I write on there. But if you really want to see how bad these people are, go to fanfiction.net, go to the Dragon Ball Z category, go to all ratings, and put the character on Vegeta. Okay. Here's what you'll see. 396 pages of stories about him. Not 396 stories. Not 396 story pages. 396 pages. Each page with about 10 to 20 stories on it about Vegeta being one of, if not the, main characters. See, in that categorization, you got two characters. Character A, character B. You can categorize it with two characters. Usually your two main ones. And a lot of them are about Vegeta, and a lot of them are fanboys, where Vegeta somehow becomes like the ultimate power in the universe. And then there are some where, oh my gosh, I don't want to go here, but the fangirls like to write him into lemon fics. And for those of you who don't know fanfic terminology, it's written porn. Okay, it is literally written pornography, basically. Graphic terms. Ugh, very descriptive language. Vegeta with several male and female characters, including in his own family. I mean, these fangirls have him basically having sex with pretty much. Yeah, God, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. But it's disturbing, okay? And the way the fangirls think can be quite disturbing to me, and it makes everybody look bad. It really does. But, okay, and I already covered what's wrong with what the fangirls think. Fanboys. Here's your problem with Vegeta. You think of him as badass. You think of him as cool and calm, and then he, ruthless, blah, blah, blah. He's ruthless, okay? He's fairly cunning. He's a good strategist. Yes. Here's the problem. When Vegeta comes across something that he can't overcome easily, when he comes across something that has him stumped, at least initially, okay, he was the first one to freak out. Now, see, here's the problem. When Vegeta becomes what is known as actually badass, when he finally stops, being a butt, when he stops, when he finally calms down and everything, that's the time when you guys say that he got ruined. Which makes no sense. Because before, in his early stages, whenever he came across something that he couldn't overcome or that confused him, that was beyond his, not confused him like, okay, I don't know this, enlighten me type confused. Confuse him as in, this should have worked, it didn't, what went wrong. He was the first to spaz. He would spaz, he would freak out, he would throw temper tantrums, he would just basically lock up and not know what to do. Okay, Vegeta in the very beginning was just a jackass. I'm sorry, he was. Doesn't mean that he stayed that way, but initially he was. He was tough, he was ruthless, he was a killer, yes, but he was also a butt, okay? He made an ass of himself. Now, when the series went on, that started to change, and actually in the Buu Saga was when he actually became more of what you want to categorize him as, but because he doesn't have this killer instinct where I don't care who I kill so long as I kill my enemy, you say that he got ruined when in actuality he became what you want him to be. I don't think you quite understand what you're categorizing. The way Piccolo is what would be considered to be quote-unquote badass. He stays cool and calm no matter what. Very few things have ever gotten Piccolo to freak out. Okay, he is cool, he is calm, he is collected, he regains his composure very easily. And, he doesn't usually run off just because of hurt pride, In fact, it doesn't damage his pride at all, because Piccolo has confidence in what he is, and that is what you want from Vegeta. And when Vegeta finally reaches that, then you say that his character got ruined, and it makes no sense to me. Another thing that people seem to forget, and people miss the entire point of, is in the Majin Buu Saga, when Vegeta finally admits that Goku is the best, better than him, you miss the reason why. A lot of you seem to think it's just because of Super Saiyan 3, and that if he could have hit Super Saiyan 3, he never would have said that, blah, blah, blah. Or what about... No. Vegeta did that because he acknowledged that Goku is a better warrior than him, and the reason that he did that was because he realized what it was that made Goku a better warrior than him. What it was that made him so great, and it wasn't his power. Vegeta had, or at least he thought he had, power that was equal to that of Goku, and he still wasn't on par with him. And he finally he tried the whole family thing, he tried everything. He couldn't figure out what it was that made him so great. Tried to emulate him in pretty much every way except one way. There's one thing that he can't copy, and that is his spirit. When he saw Goku fighting Majin Buu, even though the Goku technically had no chance of winning, when he saw Goku beaten down by Buu, when he saw Goku still struggling with him, even though he had no energy left, and still refusing to give up, still believing that there was a way he could beat him. That was when he realized what it was that made him great and what made him better than he was. It wasn't the Super Saiyan 3, it wasn't the raw power, it was his spirit, his determination, his will. Something that was even greater than Vegeta's own pride. And for that, he gave up his pride. That was when I gained a lot of respect for him. A lot more. When he was finally able to overcome his pride. When he realized that your pride isn't what makes you a great warrior. It's, your spirit. And with the spirit comes a whole new type of pride. That was a great moment. That was a defining moment. That's what defined the character. That was the message behind that. Frankly, I think it would have been a lot better illustrated if they waited until after that spirit bomb struggle for him to have that little thought to himself. But, it is what it is. Anyways, that's my rant on Vegeta. See ya.